Hey y'all, it's your boy. Um, I'm here with a man who wasn't on a stream recently. He was on call during a stream. So this is his first stream. So welcome to that. And this is Tyler Quinn, everybody.
Yeah, outside of the wrestling aspect of that name, I mean, kayfabe's been dead for years. Why try and keep it? We all know that every single guy in the YouTube channel is friends outside of it, whether Nix wants to admit it or not. He's really not an interviewer. Um, but yeah, here I am finally.
Shots fired, I could say.
Glad to finally be in one of these. Seems like the last one was the only one you let me know of ahead of time.
Well, I don't really let anyone else know ahead. I just plan. Okay, first off, you should know every Friday I'm doing it
I know that.
and every other time is random. Like if I just have them all over here, I'm gonna be like, okay, let's do a stream or something, or we can just talk or something, because that's basically what happens. Because they've been over like 3 or 4 times, and literally, I was just like, you guys want to stream, or like I just get bored. So I'm like, okay, I'll just stream. Like I don't have a schedule. That's the only thing. But the one with Black Wyvern just out of nowhere, because he was like, I don't feel include what's the word I'm looking for, included in this, because I've done one with Nate by me and him. I've done one with Dick, and now I've done one with all three of us, and then I did one with you by yourself. You are an immature man. You are immature, but I understand why you're laughing.
Gay.
Oh, and he's gonna be another one that's gonna get my channel taken down.
No,
I feel it.
I can't. That's a meme.
Ah, good. Anyway, we are here. It's before Smackdown.
I'm pretty clueless on what's going on this SmackDown. For being honest,
Big E's taking on Morrison.
That's the only thing I know.
And pretty
and
much
the tables match.
in the tables match. I think the Fiend's doing a Firefly Funhouse or something like that. Other than that, that's the only thing I know, honestly, too, because I really don't pay attention to the match things. Like the tables match is gonna be freaking fun. I don't care what anyone says, because everyone wants a tables match where someone gets put through a table, and now we're getting one on SmackDown. And that's another thing. They don't listen to the fans. We want tables. Table match on SmackDown. There you go. But last week's SmackDown I really enjoyed. As you all may be aware, I watched up until the Nakamura and Braun Strowman match, because I work killed me on Friday. But this Friday I'm actually wide awake because work didn't kill me, because we all were chill at work and didn't want to go overload with it. I said overlord.
Overboard.
No, overboard. No, overlord. No,
Overlord makes no sense. Overload makes no sense. You didn't want to go overboard at work.
No, I didn't want to go overload at work. I'm not an English person here, okay? I don't care if it doesn't make sense. I use my words. Anyway, yeah. Shut up. It work was easy today, so I'm wide awake. I was gonna take a nap when I got home, but things changed. But I thought SmackDown last week was really good. NXT and AEW, I didn't get a chance to watch either of them.
Oh man, you mentioned it, and I started yawning.
For the ones that took our name.
Yeah.
He will forever be salt about that. Just letting y'all know. So if you hear him get mad with AEW, it's because they took basically his name. I recently just joined, so I can't say our name, but they took him and Wyatt's name basically. You can't do anything about it, even though you had it longer. But yeah, I didn't get to watch AEW or NXT. I watched some clips of both of them, and everyone's probably like, "You watch the clips, you're a sinner," because sometimes I get on people for that because they nitpick at the clips. They watch the one clip that they want to watch, but not all of them. I watched pretty much all the clips, and AEW had their Bash of the Beach thing, which again,
Another stolen idea.
I wouldn't say a stolen idea, more just a stolen name. It's it's to the point, and I'm gonna make people mad by saying it's at the point where I just don't care about the company anymore. I really don't. I've said I wanted to succeed in the last stream. I've said multiple things about it. I've praised it, but at this point, I'm pretty much just done with it. Like the fans are cancer, the wrestlers are cancer sometimes, and the shows are nothing more than spot fest, high flying flip matches, and they're using basically the four main people who are making the company. Mm-hmm. They're using Cody, Young Bucks, and Omega. Explain to me why 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago or whenever it was, why did Omega beat Pac? Explain to me that. I just want to have a good explanation on why Omega beat Pac. It was a fantastic match. It was the first time they didn't do a whole bunch of flippy stuff, even though they kind of did, but it was still a good match. But explain to me why, when Pac was having so much momentum, they decided to kill it.
I don't know, and it's crazy too because yeah, those guys are the only guys that are used, but even then, it's almost like Kenny Omega's momentum from before he came to All Elite has been killed. He was so good in New Japan, and that's coming from someone who was never quite interested in him anyways. To me, he really just felt like the indie version of Dolph Ziggler, where he had his thing, he had his style, he had the charisma, but it was just he was
always talked
he
about.
Was too over top himself, and he thought too highly about himself, which really is the downfall of you. In any sport, we've seen it in the NFL with Antonio Brown.
Oh, good Lord. That's one thing I've honestly been wanting to talk about more is this football and like other sports too. But yeah, continue.
We've seen it in the NBA with the Golden State Warriors.
Oh my, yeah. I was about to. Aren't they like the lowest seed in the West right now?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to basketball. I just know that they got so popular for those few years of Steph Curry suddenly being able to hit a three, even though every other person in the NBA can do it, and even centers can do it now. But and it's just that's the thing that ultimately to me killed Dolph Ziggler is he thought he was worth more than what he really is, to where when he wasn't getting pushed, he got upset and then he threatened to leave unless he got more, and that. Dude, do not bite the hand that feeds you. WWE has given Dolph so much, and I strongly believe if he was not in WWE, he would just be another washed-up comedy act. He doesn't have a wrestling ability outside of trying to put on a show.
And I do agree with that a lot, and plus they've given him time and time again to shine, and he's dropped the ball. I hate to do it. I actually really enjoyed Ziggler. I still kind of enjoy Ziggler as a mid-carder, but not as a world champion. And a lot of people are like, I want him as a world champion. Like, we've had him as, 3 different world champions at this point with the world title, and everyone was just like, well, he didn't really get a good shot. His 2 runs before Alberto cashed in on him were mediocre and just boring. It's the same thing with Dean. It was the same thing with who was another one that just won it, and everyone was just like, oh, it was Kofi. Kofi had momentum, and Kofi was good, but then they did this. It took me 12 years, and like I was sick of it within like 8 weeks. because he just kept bringing that up. If he didn't bring that up nonstop, I wouldn't have minded his reign.
After a couple weeks after Mania, that should have been stopped, or at the very least, it should have went to that time of trying to win this has finally paid off, and now it's time to try my hardest to hold it for that long, or show that it was worth it. It really wasn't. It was like 12 years of holding me down. Yeah, I don't want to sit and say that I didn't like Kofi as champion. I did. I enjoyed it.
Oh, he was enjoyable. He was actually one of the best besides AJ, I thought, that actually held that belt for a while. Like, Orton's was forgettable. Wyatt's first reign was forgettable.
In my opinion,
Dean's was forgettable.
In my opinion, Wyatt fits more in this situation instead of Kofi, because Wyatt didn't really ever try to become a world champion. It was just people wanted him to be a champ. He became a champ, and then boom, he was a placeholder champion.
Yeah.
And I said it over chat on the last stream. I don't care who gets offended by this. I don't think Bray Wyatt is a world champion. I don't think Bray Wyatt's good with championships.
I think
I think he's mediocre in the ring.
I think he could be if they would let him wrestle, in my opinion, I think he could be a really good mid-card builder. I honestly think he can hold that IC and do something with it.
I don't know. It just feels like
he's
somewhat like a Taker situation. Like, you remember when Undertaker would hold championships and it just didn't seem right?
I always thought it was fine with him holding a belt. He was always that mystery character that honestly I really loved. Like, Taker was something like it was once in a generation type thing, and people cling to that. And him holding belts, I thought was fine. But once when he got to that age where you wouldn't expect him to do that, it was like, like imagine him holding a title right now. I'd be like,
I want to see him win the 24/7 championship.
I wouldn't mind that. Everyone's basically going to win that thing. I'm shocked that Lesnar didn't win it on Monday.
He would get pinned in a coffin.
Please, for the love of God, do that, WWE. But you didn't watch Raw, so I don't know if you.
I saw the R-Truth Brock Lesnar segment. I
almost cried. If he would have pinned Truth, that belt would be ruined for sure. Mm-hmm. Because he never shows up anyway. Where would you find him? At home?
But no. Like, you can have your opinion about him, and I'll respect it, because Wyatt is doing great things right now. He's completely, in my opinion, he's completely revamped the Universal Championship.
He has. I don't disagree with you like a whole bunch of things. I don't think he's one of the best wrestlers in the world by far. I think he could do, if they would let him do something, I feel like he would be one of those big powerhouses. Like, I hate to say it, but I think he could be a Lars Sullivan. I know you hate him, but I feel like he could be a really good just powerhouse heel or face, because I could honestly see, I would like to see him. Technically, what is he, a heel or a face? Because he's technically booked as a heel, but he is cheered out of the building.
I would call him a heel, I guess. But I would also say he's one of the people who's not either, because
with the Fiend he's a heel, but as not the Fiend, he's such a baby face.
Yeah, well, he tries. That's the fun thing about it. He's a baby face and an eerie feeling. So he's really not. Every nice, sweet, oh, it'll be okay, join my fun
I
house
love
thing.
You.
Yeah, that's all just creepy, really.
It's fun. It's fun.
But yeah, that's all. It's. I would count it.
Yeah, I kind of agree, but
no, I didn't.
For me, I would love to see him. And when time is right, I want to see him face Aleister at Survivor Series. In my opinion, him and Aleister, I think, could have a very interesting match, especially since they're on different brands, and especially at Survivor Series, because then it doesn't hurt anyone technically. Because imagine if, I'm just gonna say a weird thing that that would be amazing to me if it happened. Imagine if Alistair and Drew eliminated Brock Lesnar from the Royal Rumble. And then imagine if Alistair and Drew did the thing with Cena and Batista where they both knocked each other out. Like, they were the last two that knocked each other out. But then they redid it, and then let's say Drew won. But let's say Drew was like, "I'm really impressed with you. I want Lesnar, but I also want Black in the main event at WrestleMania." And so they do a triple threat match with Alistair, Drew, and Brock Lesnar for the WWE World Championship. And they go back and forth. My honest opinion, they destroy Lesnar, and then it comes down to Drew and Alistair, and then Lesnar gets back in the fray, and then Lesnar gets pinned by Black because I don't want Drew to get pinned. But it would most likely be Drew or Alistair getting pinned, in my opinion, because knowing WWE's booking, they wouldn't want to probably give Lesnar a loss, but at the same time, they don't want to give any of those two a loss, so they filter. That's 50-50 booking right there. If I was booking, I'd have Lesnar take the pin. I wouldn't care. But have Alistair win, have him just destroy people till Survivor Series, and have him do that little promo thing where he sits there, it's like no one's knocked, and then the Fiend comes it's like on a Raw, and then on SmackDown, Fiend knocks on a door, and then on Raw, Alistair opens the door, and on SmackDown, Fiend opens hi, he's waving, and they set it up, and then they have a freaking a match at Survivor Series.
Yeah, I feel like they could go about it a little bit different with the Fiend door thing, because imagine watching that on screen.
That would be weird.
It would be this one promo 5 days apart.
Yeah, that's the only bad thing.
You'd tell that it was all set up.
Well, no, because they could add the thing in what they did with NXT and Raw and SmackDown. Maybe Alistair hears a knock, he opens it, and then there's the Fiend, and the Fiend attacks him.
Well, yeah, because with Survivor Series, we'll definitely see invasion.
Yeah, and then on SmackDown, he's doing his little Firefly Funhouse, and then, Alistair comes in, breaks through, and just starts destroying everything, like Seth did. But he doesn't just let Fiend or Wyatt get away, he just kills him, basically. Black Masses him.
I don't know, it's just Bray Wyatt's a character, and that's really what carries him. It's not his matches. It's
the funny thing is, I feel like if they were to book him better with his matches, I feel like he could at least do something good with it. Because him and Finn, they've had matches before, and I thought they were at least decent. So I feel like if they would have booked it better, they could have had a decent, maybe even a good match, in my opinion.
Yeah, but that's something that should have been booked way back with the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
They solely looked at his character and building that instead of his wrestling ability. And I think that's why so many people look at it and remember the Attitude Era, because that's all the Attitude Era was. Really, it was build characters, not wrestling. And I'm glad it's not like that anymore. I really am. Characters are cool, yeah, but they come and go. And it's going to suck because sooner or later the Fiend is not going to be around anymore. And then it's going to make no sense because Bray Wyatt's either going to leave or he's going to go back to normal. And then you start thinking, well, how would they get rid of the Fiend? Is it just someone beats him and that's over with? Because I could see the Fiend going undefeated without being pinned until then. It's a situation that they've built themselves to really fail with because it's gonna cause so much backlash from the people who aren't looking at it as sooner or later the Fiend's not gonna be around anymore and they're gonna be pissed because he isn't and they love him so much.
Another thing is that's gonna screw him in the end, in my opinion, is the fact that he's gonna beat these people and then they're gonna get mad at it. And then they're going to be like, why don't this guy win or this guy win? And then they're like, well, the Fiend's still here. And it's like, oh, so he can't lose. And it's basically what it is. He can't lose because no one wants to see him lose. Especially if they go this route with him and Lesnar. it if Lesnar wins the Rumble, good Lord, how stupid are you?
What's confusing me about the Rumble is what if the person who eliminates Lesnar is the same person who wins? Like, separately. So, say Lesnar's eliminated before the end of the match. Like, he's not the last two. So, for instance, Drew. Say Drew eliminates Lesnar and then wins the Rumble. Wouldn't that be a wasted spot, pretty much? Because
it is.
And that's so stupid. Like, there's so many more people that could fit better than Lesnar.
It's just the reason why, like, I don't care for him, and I don't understand. I don't understand how people can like him when he is not that good. He's just terrible. Every time I get on a wrestling chat, I see the same thing. Why is Lesnar still here? Why is Lesnar still here? Why is Lesnar a champion? It doesn't fit what people want. People want a champion that's going to show up every single Monday through Friday, basically, because the live events.
That's something that I will give Bray Wyatt props for. Even if he doesn't wrestle every show and, like, even wrestles occasionally, he always has a segment on SmackDown, and it's always entertaining.
He's always there. Lesnar pops up, and it's like, oh, it's Lesnar. Why should I even care, honestly? Like, I've done it multiple times where when he pops up, I turn the channel. I don't want to see him. I legit turn the channel. I don't care for him. I don't like the guy. I don't like his attitude towards everything. He's spoiled basically in this era, which he shouldn't even be spoiled. He should honestly be putting young talent over. Perfect example, look at Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle put over Baron Corbin.
Mm-hmm. Whether we like it or not. He chose that.
Yeah, he chose that. He wanted Cena, but Vince was like, you're doing the story with Corbin, why not just end it with Corbin? He's like, okay, that makes sense.
So, I don't know if you've watched it, but Chris Van Vliet just had an interview with Kurt Angle, and they were talking about this. Mm-hmm. Angle was supposed to retire at this year's WrestleMania.
Oh, wow.
And the plan was for him to wrestle John Cena. Mm-hmm. Kurt was going to get to choose his own opponent, and it was going to be Cena. And he said that he just felt like it was time. So Vince said, well, if that's the case, then seeing as you're in the storyline with Corbin, you're finishing with Corbin.
Mm-hmm. Which makes sense.
Angle said, okay. So it wasn't exactly that Angle picked Corbin, but more so that Angle felt right ending with Corbin.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of sucks. I didn't get to see the Cena Angle match live, unfortunately. I was only like a year and a half old.
I was like probably 2 or... Wait, how old are you again? 18?
I'm 18.
Yeah, 18. So 18. I was probably 3 then. So I'm 2 years older than you.
But no, it's just there's so many guys backstage that have a character and have a wrestling ability that could make them a world champion. Drew McIntyre, we use his name a lot, but that dude deserves so much. He should have already been champion.
He's so good. And he's out here, and I hate this, but at the same time, it's better than him losing or not even being on a Raw. He's basically beating Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins, No Way Jose. These are basically jobbers, which is, my opinion, dumb, but at the same time, it gets him like more exposure, and it shows how dominant he is. Because Lesnar does that with anyone.
And catches him up with wins, seeing as he takes a lot of losses.
2 big names. Perfect example was Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns basically kind of, I don't want to say buried him, but he didn't do much for his career, and then they did the thing with him and, was it Ziggler?
I think so. Yeah, because Ziggler and McIntyre won the tag team championship.
Well, they did the thing with... They messed up Drew with the thing with Strowman, basically. Because they turned Strowman face, and they turned Strowman heel. And they aligned him with Ziggler and Drew. And that was stupid. And they had him face the Shield, basically. And I thought that was stupid. Granted, it was a good match.
But Drew can't put on a bad match. I think he's one of those guys that just naturally has it.
He does. I don't want to see him get. In my opinion, I feel like if they do let him face Lesnar, I feel like Lesnar's gonna beat him, and I don't. No one wants that. That's gonna basically be a waste. And the thing that kills me is the fact is they listen to their fans, but then they also kill their fans by not listening to them. They go out and they'll be like, okay, we'll let Drew win, and then he gets squashed by Lesnar. We'll let Aleister win, but then he gets squashed by Roman Reigns. They build up talent, which is good. They're building up these young talents like Drew, like Aleister Black, like all these other people. But at the end of the day, they're killing them at the same time because, okay, let's have him face Roman. They don't want Roman to lose. Okay, let's have him face Lesnar. They don't want Lesnar to lose. So it's basically they're killing everyone that they set up as a future thing.
Yep.
And it sucks because I don't want that to happen to Drew. If Drew wins the Rumble, he has to beat Lesnar. He has to start just destroying people left and right.
And it would work too because he's a face now. Everybody's behind him doing it. It's not just, oh, I'm doing this to beat people up. It's, oh, I'm doing this because people want me to beat them up. Which I think is pretty cool.
It's kind of weird, though, to me that he's a face. At the same time, he does heel things. Like, he's beating up No Way Jose. He's beating up Zach and Kurt. Like, they're all faces.
They're jobbers.
At the end of the day, they're jobbers. People really won't remember them much. Even though I hate to say it, even though Zack Ryder's a very good talent. In my opinion, I think he should be a world champion, but that's never going to happen. But with me, in my honest opinion, with things, I don't think WWE is in trouble anytime soon. A lot of people were saying that they're kind of at rock bottom, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, it's not really at rock bottom. Rock bottom was when it first started, honestly, that golden era type thing with Hogan, and they had these stupid characters like Mantar, Boogie, and all these other stupid characters. I'm sitting there, I'm like, why is this a thing? Because I went back and watched WrestleMania and clips and stuff from back then. Don't judge me. But why? Like the thing now with there's. I just love how there's these different eras of wrestling fans. You got if they're all still alive though. You got the golden era fans. You got the new generation fans. You got the Attitude Era fans. You got the Ruthless Aggression fans. You got the new generation fans. You got this type of thing. The indie hybrid type fans, I guess you can say. And for me, I don't mind this wrestling. A lot of like the older school people hate this type of wrestling. And I get it, flips aren't for everyone, but the gays.
Oh my god.
The days of characters are over. And like it's working with Bray because that's what he's good at. He is good at building a character that people can like or hate. Bray Wyatt's a perfect example. The Fiend's the perfect example. You don't see Ricochet going out here dressing up as freaking Superman and flying around and jumping and crap like that. That's not his character. Ricochet is who Ricochet is.
Yep.
Dean Ambrose is who Dean Ambrose is.
Well, Jon Moxley.
Whatever.
I know I call him Ambrose too, naturally.
I'm not calling him Moxley. I'm calling him Ambrose.
The reason why I call him Moxley is not because of All Elite. If he would have just used that name and been big for that name because of All Elite, then yeah, I wouldn't. Jon Moxley is who introduced me to CZW. CZW is where I want to go. So thank you, Jon.
And then die.
But yeah, while I'm over here changing my pants and my pants.
They didn't need to know that.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't.
They're red and black, just like the my attire shirt. You can go see that attire shirt on All Star Extreme Wrestling on YouTube. Go subscribe.
I knew he was about to plug that stuff in.
But I think the thing that people who are like, oh, I don't like the flips, I don't like this, and I don't like how the wrestling is now, doesn't realize is it is no longer an industry that is dominated by big men. It is no longer in the place where when wrestlers would go to a training school, they would have to hear, oh, you're not big enough. It isn't like that anymore. And that helps people like me who is smaller, who can realize that, okay, yeah, I'm not as big, I'm not as heavy, I'm not as tall as these wrestlers, but I've got the ability.
Mm-hmm.
And that's wonderful. That's how it should have been in the first place.
Yeah, like I don't like, but the ruthless aggression era, attitude era had its times. Like it's what propelled WWE to what it is today, in my honest opinion. A big company. Without without those eras, it wouldn't be where it's at. And another thing is, a lot of people just don't watch wrestling anymore. Mm-hmm. Like that's another thing that people just don't want to admit. Is the fact is they don't want to watch it because they just don't want to watch it. If there's a Raw on and I just don't feel like watching, I'm not gonna watch it. I hate to break everyone's bubble, but I'm like that. I didn't watch NXT or AEW.
That's how I was last Raw. I was too tired to watch it. I worked. I was like, screw this. I'm exhausted. I'm going to sleep.
Exactly. And it's not the fact that we hate it. It's the fact that we're tired. It's the fact that we just don't have the energy for it. Like, if you can watch Raw every single day, props to you. If you can watch SmackDown, NXT, AEW, every single thing out there, then you deserve an award. But for us people who work a job, I'm not saying that you do or don't. I'm just saying, like, for us people who work like a job, like for me, I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go to work at almost 5 and work till 6 to 2:30. Yours is different. Yours is pretty much any day that they can get you, mainly on Saturdays and Sundays.
So, when it comes to my job, they schedule me on the weekends because we have a lot of birthday parties. And since we close at 11:30, it's the night where a bunch of teenagers want to show up. So we're packed. The last Saturday that passed, we broke our attendance record.
Oh, wow.
Our old attendance record was 14,000. We hit 20.
Dang, gone.
Yeah. So they schedule me on the weekends because they see the effort that I put in. It's not because they just want to schedule me. I wish they'd schedule me through the week.
But you still got school. That also hurts.
Well, not really, because they open at 3.
Yeah, true.
So I'm out of school, but it's just they don't have a lot of people that go there during the week, so they don't need to schedule as many people. So what they do is during the week they'll schedule the people who don't necessarily do their job, to where when they're there they can see who they're gonna end up firing.
Yeah.
And then on the weekends they schedule people like me who busts their ass every day for that job, even though I'm only making like $8 an hour.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here in a warehouse, lifting up boxes, doing stuff. You know how a warehouse job is. It's not terrible. It's easy. It's not like I'm gonna break. Well, I can. You can break your leg by just walking, or break your ankle by walking down the street, or twist your ankle by walking down the street. But at the end of the day, it's not hard. I pick up a box, I open the box, I write down information, and that's basically it. It's not a hard job. It's decently good pay. If I save, I'm fine. But for me, like, there's some days where, like, if I wake up, especially on a Raw, I'm like, I don't want to watch Raw. And that's why I didn't watch a lot of Raws or SmackDowns, because of having work, or sometimes when I was in school. But at the end of the day, I would watch it more on school because I didn't care about school. I'll be straight up. I graduated, but I didn't care about it. It was basically a place to hang out and do whatever I wanted. But I didn't care about it. But with work, I care more about, because I don't want to lose this job.
It's a good job.
It's an easy job. And for me, with wrestling, I will always love wrestling. I'm never gonna stop loving wrestling until my last breath is drawn out of my body. It is a part of me now from when I started late 2009, early 2010 till now. I've been watching for, I'll just say 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 11 years now.
Yeah.
I've been watching for a long time, and I've seen some good wrestlers come and go. I've seen bad wrestlers come and go.
I've seen wrestlers in their prime that no longer are anymore.
Edge is a perfect example. Orton's a perfect example. Orton, I watched on Raws, and why he was just amazing. His mic skills, his delivery on everything was perfect. He still is fantastic, but he was just like, he had that thing, and everyone wants to go back to that time. I'm sitting there, I'm like, I don't want that back. I really don't. Like, I give everyone the props that they deserve, but back then, I hate to say it, but it was rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
Every Raw, every Smackdown, the same people. It's the problem with AEW, not ours, the other one. It's the big problem. It was like Edge, Orton, Triple H, Legacy here and there. It was Cena. It was mainly Cena, Edge, Orton. Those big names, just main event and everything, and that's all who was there. Like you don't remember a lot of the mid cards. Like if you do, like I can remember like Alex Riley. I can remember Brutus Clay. I can remember Tensai. I can remember Zawa. I can remember
who was the one guy what was it? He was in Smackdown versus Raw 2007.
I need a description.
Big, tall, white dude who was basically the Miz now, but back then. Like his personality, his attitude. I think he was in a tag team with Alex.
Well, that'd be Miz.
No, what? Not Miz. He was a bigger guy. He was managed by Stacy Keibler for a little bit.
Scott Steiner. That's going way back.
I'm looking it up. It wasn't Test either.
That's kind of going a little bit way back for me.
It was 07.
I wasn't watching in 07.
I know, but he was still around. I just can't remember.
Snitsky?
No. I'll look him up. I'm looking up. Don't worry about it. While I do that, seeing as guys, remember, I haven't slept since 9 o'clock at night yesterday.
Well, they didn't know that.
I have been up since, so I'm kind of retarded right now.
I don't even know.
Probably shouldn't say that word, but
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
For me, I don't see WWE ever dying. I don't ever see WWE ever getting too big. I can see it eventually not being as big. Eventually, when wrestling starts to decline, because whether everyone likes to admit it or not, wrestling's at this weird stage where a lot of people don't watch it, and that's fine. I'm not like how I used to be with it, and I know you aren't either, where if you didn't watch it, you were just kind of public enemy number one. Like you didn't watch it, you hated it basically, and you would talk so much garbage about it. Granted, there were people that were doing that, and they know who they are.
Chris Masters.
Oh yeah, he was around for a little bit. You should have said big dude with some muscles.
I did.
You said dude that looked like Miz. He don't look like Miz.
No, I said he had the attitude like Miz.
He didn't have the attitude
he
either.
was better than everybody. cocky.
Yeah, he had that little bit. Doesn't every heel have that? Yeah. Yeah. But the like wrestling is just, I think it's not dying, but it's slowly getting less and less popular. And that's, I think, because a lot of people like football, basketball, baseball more. And it shows, especially when the season there. I hate to talk about it, but ratings are a thing, and a lot of people like to compare ratings, which I think is stupid in my honest opinion. Because if it's something that you love, why should it matter if like 800,000 people watched it or 6 billion people watched it? Like, you enjoyed it, who cares?
Right.
But everyone talks about ratings, and I'm about to bring up a topic that's been on my heart and mind for a while, and I have the right person in here to talk about it. Is the fact that there are two-face wrestling fans out there that, and I hate to say it, they're mainly AEW fans, and I hate to say it. I don't like attacking these fans. I really don't. There are cool AEW fans out there. I've met a really good handful of them that actually just like, yeah, I don't know why everyone like just goes like completely haywire if you just dislike it. Like, there are some episodes that I dislike, but it's to the point to where you cannot criticize this show.
Yeah.
You cannot have a negative thought on it. You cannot say this, that, or this or that. You will get death threats. You will get You will get basically slaughtered in a comment section. I have felt that firsthand. So has Horror Boy. If you've seen Horror Boy's our live stream, he talked about how he goes in forums and asks people questions. You know how it is. You all like, if you're not like a big time wrestling fan, but you still care about it, you'll get in chats and you'll ask like what's going on, what's been going on, and he got in a chat and was like, so what's been going on with AEW, what's been going on with WWE, and people would tell him and like he'd be like okay, and he actually watched a that sounded like it broke.
It's sticking.
Oh. But he actually watched a AEW show. And he didn't care for it. He flat out said to a couple of our friends he didn't care for it, which is perfectly fine. You don't have to care for it. Like, he didn't like the show, and that's fine. But
Work. Shut up.
he sounds like he was out front. I don't know what his deal is. But the fact is, he said it in a wrestling chat with a whole bunch of fans, and the dude basically got attacked by AEW. He said he didn't like it. He told him why. Like, this was the specific thing why he didn't like it. Why, like, he always gives a really good reason behind why if he doesn't like it. Sometimes it's kind of, with me, I'm kind of like man with it, but he's gonna like what he likes. He's not gonna just sugarcoat and say like, yeah. That's the thing I respect about him a lot, and he's like a good like he knows what he's talking about. He didn't like some of the matches. He doesn't like how they're using just the same people, and he got attacked for it because he basically called out and said, "Okay, look, this is what I don't like. This is what I hope can change." He even said, "I hope it can change," and he still got attacked. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, why would they attack another person? Yeah, WWE fans do it too, but it's to the like WWE fans are just stupid.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
We're stupid, okay? We've said we've done stupid things, but at the end of the day, we're human, and then we learn and move on. That's what me and you did. We learned, we move on. That's what he did. He learned, he moved on. But at the same time, you sit there and you get these AEW fans that are cocky and arrogant, thinking like nothing can touch that show, and then once when someone does have a problem with it, they mention it and they get attacked for it, which I personally believe shouldn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing with WBTN. Like the only fan base that I don't see is TNA.
That's because TNA's dying.
And they got banned from Twitch. I don't know if you heard about that.
I saw that.
I thought that was funny.
I blame RVD.
Yeah, he was probably high and made the idea.
Dude, it was probably another one of his freaking heel work, and his heel work is perfect. But it's Twitch has guidelines, and sometimes you gotta fuck those in.
But it's like, why attack people? Like, what is the point of attacking people? I've done in the past, and I've moved on from that. We've all moved on for it. But if you haven't moved on from it, what is the purpose on trying to make someone think the same thing that you do?
Right.
Like, I don't understand the podcasters out there who literally will just trash WWE no matter what it is. Any type of thing. A good pay-per-view happens, they trash it. A good Raw happens, they trash it. And it's happening more and more, I've noticed. And I'm going to call it out. A couple of them, like Wrestle Talk, have really switched. Like with 4 All-Star, almost said our name. Before AEW was a thing, they were mainly, they covered the news and they were honest with WWE, but they loved it. Mm-hmm. But once when AEW happened, all of a sudden a thing switched with like one of them, and he basically became an AEW mark and just trashes everything WWE puts out. I'm like, why are you trashing it when it's not that bad? And the other ones were like, it's really not that bad, and it sucks. Like, there's podcasters out there, they know who they are, and they do this, and it's just like, why? Like, if you've been on this stream before, you see that I'm even with it. If there's a good Raw, I praise it. I give everything that deserves to be praised with. If there is a bad Raw, a bad SmackDown, a bad NXT, a bad AEW, a good AEW, so forth and so forth and so to come, I will be honest with people. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There have been bad Raws that I've watched, and a lot of people were like, yeah, you're kind of right. A lot of people, it's just depending on what you want. A lot of people may love a Raw that a lot of people hate, and a lot of people may love a Raw and like some hate it. It's depending on what you want. And that's the thing that wrestling fans need to learn. It's not what you want, it's what everyone wants.
Yep.
And they're trying to do that, and it's just causing more problems. That's why you said it and I said it. Just focus on the company itself and do what you want to do. Don't try to please everyone, because at the end of the day, you're gonna make everyone more angry and dissatisfied than you should. And to me, they do that after the show. If you've seen a Raw clip after the show, they do funny stuff, or Smackdown. To me, if a show is good, it deserves praise. If a show was bad, it deserves a negativity type thing. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
Yep.
And it is what it is. Like, there's been Raws, there's been Smackdowns where I don't care for. And I'll be honest, like, it's just how it is. And some people love it. Like, I think me and you actually disagreed on a couple of Raws where, like, I didn't care for it, but you liked it.
There was also one, I can't remember exactly which one it was. But I found it really boring. Like, I thought it was super slow. It just didn't really have a direction, and you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So it's a thing. Fans need to realize that not everything is going to go their way.
Mm-hmm.
WWE seems to try and find different ways to do something different for everybody, which ends up being super weird. I joked about it on the last stream. No, the Bobby Lashley and Lana storyline's not the best storyline of the decade. It's not one of my favorites either, but I don't think it's as bad as people are making it seem.
It's not terrible, but it's not good either, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's not good. Definitely not how I would have liked to see Liv Morgan reintroduced, but it was unexpected, and sometimes that's what's needed.
Mm-hmm. Like, people were already saying they trashed Morgan. I'm like, dude, she just came back. Give it a couple days. Give the storyline, some time to grow. It's not like it's ruined. She's not ruined just because this thing happened with it. Um, it blows my mind. Um, that people just don't care. And it's like, well, why not? Like, they don't put on bad stuff. Like, it's not terrible, but it's not, fantastic at the same time.
It could definitely be better, and I will admit that.
There's
so much that could be better. But most of what could be better is pushing the right people.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to see Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. I think that match would be boring. Because I don't necessarily see Bobby Lashley as a world champion. He's just another big guy. We have a crap ton of them. We've seen a crap ton.
In my opinion, they just need to book it when Lesnar loses the title.
Anyone needs to beat him for the title at this point.
No,
I don't care who.
I'm talking about like just having them fight. Like I could like imagine the fight is between the both of them because they both know MMA. They both know, fighting techniques. And I would honestly like to see it without the title. Just have them like just fight each other. Like that would just be gold in my opinion. And like there's just so many things like they can like push. Why isn't Elias pushed? Like why isn't Ricochet pushed? Why isn't Drew pushed? Why isn't Aleister Black pushed? Why isn't Jeff Hardy back yet? Why is Matt Hardy leaving? Why is like all these people want out and at the same time you shouldn't
honestly. Again, Matt Hardy posted on his YouTube, and he just had like a thoughts from the throne thing, and he commented on what's going on in wrestling right now. And he praised WWE for what's going on. I wouldn't believe anything about him leaving until he says it himself.
That's true.
Matt Hardy seems to be one of the level-headed guys that realizes that he's now meant to put guys over. He's not someone who's gonna be pushed much anymore.
In my opinion, they should have gave him a world title. They still should give him a world title, in my opinion, for thanking him for everything he's done. Basically, him and Jeff both, in my opinion, deserve one last run with any title, or possibly both having world titles and having a feud with it. You never know. But for me, a thing that I want to see more of is just don't be like everyone else, and that's the thing with AEW. AEW is trying to be like a TNA or a WWE or all these different type of organizations rolled into one. And I don't like that. And
they just signed Taz, so now their announced thing is Taz
SmackDown like from 2007, or 8 or something like that. Cause I know that Taz and JR were a thing. It wasn't SmackDown. It was Raw actually. It was one of the shows. They had Taz and JR as a Raw or SmackDown announce team. Mm-hmm. And I like Taz and I like JR, but when the time is time, you gotta hang it up. And JR, you gotta hang it up, dude. You gotta be done with commentary. You're not that good no more.
Commentators are meant to get the people at home excited, and he sounds like a bore now. It's just so plain, no energy in it.
Yeah. Good old JR is not the good old JR no more. A thing that I know for a fact this is probably going to irritate someone because it's the same thing with other YouTubers that want to discuss things. You're not gonna please everyone, and I know someone's gonna watch it and they're not gonna like it, and I'm totally fine with that. But when things need to be called out, it needs to be called out. And a perfect example is with AEW. They do the things that WWE would do, and WWE gets called out for it, but they don't. Perfect example. Why is Diamond Dallas Page wrestling? Everyone threw fits when Taker and Goldberg wrestled. I get it, it's at Saudi, but even if it was on a Raw, people threw fits when Goldberg won a Universal title or when a legend comes back and wrestles, like Kurt Angle. People threw fits about that. Shawn Michaels, all these people that come out to have like one more match, people throw fits on. But then when AEW does it, everyone turns a blind eye. Like, okay, it's fine.
And
it's not.
And it isn't just Diamond Dallas Page that they've like.
Arn Anderson.
Arn Anderson has came back.
He didn't wrestle, but he did a move.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and a lot of these, I don't know where you're going to go with this, but I'm going to go with a left field type thing. And then I'll go back to you, because this has also been on my last nerves. If you honestly believe any WWE person should go there, you're an idiot, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
I hate to be rude. I hate to be rude. I hate to sound like that, but not every ex-WWE star needs to go there. It's the same thing. Look what happened with Ty Dillinger. Perfect example. What have they done with him? Absolutely nothing.
He joined Arn Anderson. That's it.
No, Arn Anderson spine busted him and cost him a match against Cody.
Oh, well, I didn't know that happened.
That was at the first pay-per-view. Why, they don't need to go there. They can go to TNA. They can go to New Japan. I think Sin Cara won a title in New Japan. Who would have thought that? There's different companies. They don't need to go to AEW, because then everyone's going to complain AEW has too much of a big roster. Mm-hmm. And I just hate being that type of rude, but it is what it is sometimes. Like, you have to hear it. Like, not everyone, like Becky Lynch doesn't need to go to AEW if she leaves WWE. Charlotte doesn't need to go to AEW if she leaves WWE. You know, all these people do not need to go to AEW. They can go wherever they want. If they want to go to AEW, that's fine. But it doesn't matter. If they want to go to New Japan, do not hate them. I've seen fans hate on wrestlers because they didn't. Let me rephrase this. I've seen AEW fans hate on a wrestler because they didn't go to AEW. I've seen wrestling fans comment on wrestlers telling them they're a sellout because they went to WWE or AEW. You shouldn't be like that. You should be happy for that person. Mm-hmm. Even if you hate WWE, you should be happy for that person going there. I may dislike AEW at the moment, but I am happy for anyone who can get their foot in that door and get an opportunity and maybe then go to WWE. But at the same time, it's so hard to like a company that their fans are toxic, their wrestlers are toxic, their shows are overrated, in my opinion. Like, they're overrated.
Yeah, I know, as someone who has seen something and then like looked at the fan base. Fan bases are one of the first things that you see when it comes to stuff. They introduce you to the sport or music or whatever it is. You can get opinions from them. Like, a fan base is a very big thing. So if you go and be like, oh, well, I don't like this song, or I don't think this wrestler should do this, and they just attack you for it, that's not only going to turn you away from the fan base. I was
about to say that.
But that's going to make you believe that that company or that band or that job or whatever it is not good, because it's causing their fans to act this way. And that's so bad for business. All Elite is the second biggest wrestling promotion in the world, and they've only been around for a year. That's insane. But there's other companies that guys could probably thrive in more. In my opinion, Dean Ambrose would do better in New Japan instead of All Elite. He ended up going to All Elite, but like that's his decision. Chris Jericho, he's great anywhere.
That dude could go to TNA and make TNA perfect.
Surprised he didn't.
I know.
But like, it's just if All Elite wants to be a company based on wrestling, and WWE is an entertainment company, got some guys that just have that star quality of theirs, but necessarily can't wrestle, may want to rethink that. I know it's going to be a very big hot take. I'm sick and tired of MJF. Sick and tired of him.
Oh.
He has high school insults and stupid one-liners. But like he's not that good on the mic. Originally, yeah, some of the things he said, it was like an oh my god, did he really say that? But he's not as good.
At the end of the day, WWE could do something with someone like that immediately, and like next thing you know, they're going to be getting talked about. That's the thing. If Vince took AEW serious, he could end it in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. And he's not. He wants to see another company. And the fact is, I don't think he honestly watches anything. I don't even think my personal opinion, I don't even think he watches NXT. I don't think he does. I think he watches Raw and SmackDown, tries to get information, tries to make it better from just Raw and SmackDown. And it hurts. Triple H, I know for a fact, watches probably AEW, probably watches New Japan, probably watches all these other companies and tries to mimic or even copy some things that they do. Why do you think Liger came to NXT to face Tyler Breeze? Wasn't Vince's idea. It was H's. H is going to have a mindset different from Vince. And it's gonna be good in my opinion, because yeah, Triple H doesn't want to necessarily play nice with other companies, but I guarantee you he's not gonna just kill off a company if he wants to have something to do with it. Mm-hmm. Like I can guarantee you he could probably get some New Japan people and WWE people to New Japan, because I feel like he would work with that company.
Yep.
I feel like he would work with TNA. I feel like he would work pretty much with everyone besides AEW, and that's because it's AEW's own fault. Like, why did Cody have to smash the chair? We all know that was aimed at Triple H, and he even said it in the interview. It wasn't a shot; it was just a warning to let them know we're here to stay. Not really, in my opinion. If you honestly look at their attendance, there has been, I don't know if you've seen the recent picture that got leaked, but oh my god, dude.
Was it of MJF facing the crowd?
No. It was a whole different picture.
That one showed not a lot of people as well. So.
I'm talking about, okay, so you know how there'd be like normally like where they look at the camera, they go like you never see over here. Mm-hmm. Because there might be a couple empty seats, right? I kid you not. They were, I don't know where they were, but it was at AEW, and there was a camera, so you cannot say it was photoshopped or anything, and people even said they were there. That whole area was empty.
Yeah,
with like 5 people.
That was the same night where I had MJF looking, and it was completely empty.
It's completely empty all over there. I was like, wow. I was like, and you're changing the face of wrestling?
Yeah. That shouldn't happen within a year. It shouldn't even happen within 2 years. And that kind of shows what it's going to end up as. It's going to die down, and it may still be big, but the fans are in for a rude awakening. It's not what they think.
The perfect example right now was Marty Scurll.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, he's going to AEW. He re-signed with Ring of Honor. That shocked me. I really didn't think he was going to stay with Ring of Honor. And in my opinion, I feel like if he does go anywhere, he's going to go to WWE, in my opinion. Because he knows if he goes to All Elite, they're not going to use him well. I guarantee you that.
He's one of those guys to where if he was close enough with the Young Bucks and Cody and they would use him, he would have went to All Elite with them.
Well, he did. And you can, I hate doing this to this company. But when the fans are this bad, it needs a rude awakening sometimes. And right now, it needs a rude awakening. It's not that good in my opinion. And you can call me salty or call him stupid or call us whatever you want, but it's the fact. It's the fact that it's the hot trendy thing right now, and once when it cools down, it's not going to be as good. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you by the end of them 3 years that they got an extension, they're not going to get renewed because I guarantee you they're going to start losing more and more numbers, and then they're going to start getting more and more unhappy people. And you always had that WWE dude who was always unhappy, or they say they're going to leave, but then they always resign. Perfect example was Kalisto. He resigned. He said he was going to be a free agent in like 10 months. And Oni, who basically said he was done, but then he resigned. You're going to get a lot of people that aren't happy, and they already have one person unhappy in AEW. It's that one dude, Joey something.
Joey Janela.
Yeah, he's unhappy, and he's said it multiple times. And that's what he's doing. He's in tag team matches with random people. Another thing that irritates me with this company is when they do this. Everyone gets mad when WWE does it, but no one says a thing when they do it. He's underappreciated in my opinion. He should have never lost to Cody the second time.
Darby Allin.
Yes.
Yeah, he has so much to offer.
Go back up. Darby Allin should have beat Cody Rhodes that second time because did they forget Cody can't challenge for the title? Yeah, and everyone gets mad at WWE for doing that. They just forgot Cody can't challenge for the title.
I know one thing. Why is Billy Gunn still wrestling as well?
Yeah, and then people are like, it's because of his kid. So,
I don't know. It's just WWE is a prime example of if people who have been used too much or are too old continue to get used, what can happen to younger talent. So if All Elite was going to be different, why are they bringing old talent? That wasn't even in the company originally. I know Billy Gunn was. I can't remember what he signed as originally. It was some
a creative thing.
Role. But it's still, they're not needed to wrestle. If you're going to sign them as a backstage person, keep them as a backstage person. Mm-hmm. You've already got enough backstage people wrestling in the Young Bucks and Cody.
Mm-hmm.
And they stole my name. So.
Oh, there's that.
Hummer?
No, the Matt Hardy thing.
Oh, yeah. It's just.
Go back to that stuff. I want to see some of that stuff.
I think the landscape of wrestling, with it changing as much as it has, is the main thing that's drawn people away from it, because it just seems like nobody can keep track of it anymore.
That is true.
You never hear what's going on in Ring of Honor. The only thing you hear about in TNA is RVD.
And it getting banned off of Twitch.
Yeah. And there being a big wrestling promotion now in WWE and All Elite has made those minor leagues, those indie leagues, even smaller. It's just it's both good and bad for wrestling, and I can see both sides.
Okay, but sometimes you just need a reality check. Like, yeah, WWE needs a reality check. Do some stories. Like, why is he... Go back up. I have to rant on this. Why is he wrestling? Like, everyone gets so mad at WWE for doing it. So why is Diamond Dallas Page wrestling? Explain to me why he's wrestling. Another thing that has irritated me too. So apparently... Go back up real quick. So apparently, people get mad at WWE for doing stupid freaking... They get mad at WWE for doing stupid endings to shows or pay-per-views. This man, they threw a towel in for their first pay-per-view. for their title, their world title. MJF threw in the towel for Cody Rhodes on their first pay-per-view. And people don't care. They don't.
It's just that's the worst thing. It's very hypocritical, and unfortunately, outside of working and school, my free time doesn't go towards watching wrestling anymore. It goes towards gaming or sleeping or focusing on my own YouTube. All Star Extreme Wrestling. Go subscribe.
Stop plugging yourself in, dang it.
But it's just it sucks. There's too much wrestling throughout the week, and I never expected myself to say that. It's on Monday, Tuesday. No, it's so
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Monday, Wednesday. No, it's Monday, Tuesday because of Impact. That's on a Tuesday, isn't it?
Impact. I don't watch Impact. I watch clips.
I'm meaning in general, like what days they're all on.
I don't know. Impact's on Twitch half the time.
Yeah, so Monday's Raw.
No, it was Friday because remember you spent the night one day. It was Friday. Yeah, and we watched on Twitch.
Yep. So Monday's Raw. Wednesday's All Elite and NXT. Friday is SmackDown and Impact. If you can ever catch that.
No, thank you.
New Japan is on some time in between there. Ring of Honor is on like almost every single day because they pre-tape so many things.
They're on Sundays too.
You can't even catch where it is, and then Sundays like the live ones. You got Saturday's pay-per-views for All Elite and NXT. You have
Sunday pay-per-views
for WWE. You have pay-per-views for the other shows. It's so much, and it's even worse come WrestleMania weekend, which is coming up soon.
Oh God, you ain't kidding.
You have all of that. You have the specials that they show. You have the Hall of Fame. It's a lot, and it's hard to pay attention to when you've got more important things in life. I'm trying to actually grow my own wrestling career. I don't have time for it.
Kurt Angle believes Dean's gonna come back to WWE eventually.
So do I.
He said Dean wanted a change and adjustment. Maybe he felt that he wanted to work less and felt that he wasn't being appreciated. He made a decision for himself, and if he feels it's the right decision, I'm happy for him. But WWE is the biggest company in the world. At it will continue. I don't know if that's a typo. I just can't read. In the world, at it will become to be. I believe Dean will be back. I believe it. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things I see happening in the future. And I don't see a lot of wrestling companies surviving. I hate to be like that, but it's true.
Even outside of the WWE, AEW stuff, what people realize about ratings is ratings for everything goes down. Whether it's just a bad show, a bad week, or what. But not a lot of people watch TV anymore. Not a lot of people own cable. People watch Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, whatever it is. People stream off of those now. And you can just hop on YouTube and watch a couple quick clips and you know what happened. So they look at ratings for like NXT. They had an award ceremony.
Why does that can look different? I know you see that, right? That's the birthday cake can.
That's Miami Cola.
Yeah, and birthday cake.
They're the natural flavors.
Oh, so disgusting. Even worse.
But you have that episode of NXT where it was the award ceremonies. And just because AEW had an actual show with championship matches and NXT had an award ceremony, everybody flipped their lid because All Elite like destroyed them in ratings by like 200,000 or whatever it was. And quite frankly, if you are getting happy over getting an easy weekly win in ratings, but yet is still 1.2 to 2.2 million views lower than the main shows, you're really not as relevant as people think. If you're trying to feud with NXT instead of trying to feud with Raw and SmackDown, then it doesn't make sense. And that's why they're showing that they're the second biggest company, because they're feuding with the third brand, not the first brand, not the second. Raw's the A show, SmackDown's the B show.
Yeah, I'll disagree. Raw's the B show.
That was proven in 6-1. Actually, it was 6-0. Xavier wanted it to be 6-1.
Okay,
but
what happened this year?
So I'm meaning hour wise. Raw's 3 hours long. Yeah. Raw's been around longer. But so if you were to put shows in order, that would be the number one show.
Okay.
That's the flagship show.
Okay.
SmackDown's the second flagship show. NXT just became the third show. Officially. So if fans were really so true to their beliefs of All Elite being as good as it is, why is it being compared to NXT? Because I get that a lot of people say that NXT is better than Raw and SmackDown, and it has its weeks. It does. But when they have an hour or a 2-hour show and have a better writing team and Triple H running it, yeah, they're going to have some moments that are better. But again, NXT, if it was better, it'd get more ratings than Raw. It's on USA Network. It's the same amount of time as SmackDown. Why does it not get as many ratings as SmackDown? So, All Elite having 200,000 more than them, or the weeks where they've had less, or I don't think they've cracked 1 million in a couple of weeks. They're on a decline, and it could be a lot of things. It could be because people aren't watching TV, like I said. It could be because people just get busy. But I strongly believe that so many people, even All Elite fans, are getting so worn out with wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
To where they're just not watching it. They can find out what happened. They can type in the show, what the show is and the date, and they can just read. That's what I used to do. But I had to do that for pay-per-views before I had the network to use. It's not that hard.
It's not.
But
yeah, like you can basically just type in what happened, and you can get like a whole website basically telling you what happened.
What I do, and what I've been doing recently, I know you don't necessarily care for them. Like they've had a couple videos, but ups and downs, what culture?
Mm.
I don't necessarily watch for the ups and downs. I use those to know what happened. Because even if he gives certain things a down that deserve an up, or certain things an up that would deserve a down, he still explains it.
True.
And even recently, some of the things that he said are completely honest. He has given All Elite a good amount of downs. And the number one thing he continues to say is their women's division is so forgetful. Like you don't remember it. And I think that's why so many people want Becky Lynch to go there, because they know it would help. And I completely agree. They need some girls from WWE. And that's probably why they want so much talent from WWE.
Yeah,
because they know they're better.
They want Alexa, they want Becky, they want Ray, they want all these people. I'm like, you don't need these people though. Like, there's no point of having them. Like, what are you gonna do with them? Like, what are you gonna do with Ray? Have him lose to MJF? Have him lose all these people? Like, there's nothing that you will do to help Ray's career.
Mm-hmm.
Look at freaking Ty Dillinger. Look at all these other people that signed with the company. What have they been doing? Nothing. What? Yeah, Alexa Bliss. Becky Lynch and all these other women, yeah, they're going to get a main event push and they're going to get the women's division rolling. But then after a while, I guarantee you they'd get rid of them.
It's they built this men's division on the guys who they've signed and how big their name was, and then here's the women's division. Like that. That's really how it is. It's not that they equally put them together. It's not like, okay, we need big top stars in both because we're a fresh company. It was, okay, let's get Cody, let's get Chris, let's get Moxley, let's get Omega, let's get Janela, and then it was let's get a bunch of Japanese ladies. And Karma. Yeah, Karma's like the biggest name, and quite frankly, she was just the original Nia Jax.
Dang, that's kind of hurtful.
Maybe a little bit more powerful, but that's about it. And there's a lot of girls that are on the independents that can help. I'm pretty sure Janelle Dashwood is in All Elite, right? Emma?
Yeah. She's in TNA.
She is?
Yeah, TNA signed her. She's been in All Elite because they've also struck a deal where they can use people. Mm-hmm. They've also, I don't know if you know this, but their big dude in TNA, Ryan Cage, he signed with AEW. Yeah, he signed with AEW.
His wife denied those claims. His wife said that didn't happen. Yep. But no, so like there's girls that are on the indies that All Elite can sign and that they could use.
But they're not.
It's like it's an afterthought. The women's division there is just like WWE's tag division. And I strongly believe that.
They need to fix the tag team division. If they can fix the tag team division, I guarantee you they could get a lot of people back.
And I know you're against putting random teams together, but
I'm not against it. I'm against it if they don't build off of it, like Rusev and Nakamura. Like Sheamus and Cesaro, they put in, and it was a good storyline because they were hit, like they were hard hitting against each other. So Kurt Angle was like, okay, since you two are having these good matches, I want you two to be a tag team, and then it worked out.
But like I think it's cool teaming two random people together sometimes to see what they can do together, to see their chemistry together.
Here's the thing I don't like. If they team them up together and then immediately after the match or like immediately afterwards they hate each other or they become like a big tag team from out of nowhere, like they shouldn't become that. Like Sheamus and Cesaro, they built off of it and then became a good tag team. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, if they do it, the thing that hurts is the fact that everyone hates it. But then when, again, AEW does it, it's perfectly fine. And that's another thing. Like, if they do a random tag team, I'm fine with it. Like, if they randomly throw in, I don't know, like Miz and, I don't know, let me think of a name. I'm not going to say Morrison because that's obvious. But Miz and Cedric Alexander, they throw them two in a tag team. You know, they let's say they were having a rivalry. They start putting them in tag team matches. You know, they start building a chemistry. They start doing something with it. And then, boom, make them a tag team. You don't have to be an already established tag team to be a good tag team. I thought Sheamus and Cesaro were one of the best tag teams that they had.
Definitely of this decade, for sure. Mm-hmm. They had really good chemistry together. And I think something that'd be pretty interesting, and I might do it on 2K, honestly. Taking a tournament and making it fully out of random tag team competitors to where it's two completely random people. So you said Miz and Cedric. As you saw in my game, I'm really interested to see what would happen with Braun Strowman and the Big Show. Or even you could have like Braun Strowman and R-Truth.
I was going to say Drake Maverick.
Or Drake Maverick. It would be like, it'd be cool to see how such different or such similar people could coexist and see what would happen in the ring. And then either like they could go for the tag team championships, the best in the world tag team trophy, or just a shot at the championships later.
You already we've seen that. Perfect example is NXT. They do it all the time. Look who won the tag team thing last year: Aleister Black and Ricochet.
Yeah,
they won a tag team.
I'm meaning a tournament completely of fresh tag teams because like they had even though they weren't a tag team, like they still had like the storyline part. Mm-hmm. I mean, just pick out of the hat.
Oh, so basically Strowman and freaking Maverick.
Yeah.
You're two a tag team. Go out there and wrestle.
The really cool thing is TNA did something similar to that in the past.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember exactly what it was, but what would happen was there was a small tournament, I don't know how many people, but you pick out of the hat, you and your partner, if you two win, you move on, and then so on and so forth. Next round, it's either the same thing against a new team, or I'm pretty sure when it got down to the last 8, it became a 8-man match. Where you were just facing your tag team partner, who you were just helping. It was interesting. It was really cool. I enjoyed it. I watched the whole pay-per-view, and it was super, super good. And I think WWE could definitely use something like that. I mean, the tag team division's already screwed. Might as well experiment with it and see what works.
Yeah, me and Everhard talked about that. Imagine they bring back like the Cruiserweight Classic or like a Dusty Rhodes thing before the main roster and throwing teams. Like they do that in NXT. A perfect example was Aleister and Ricochet. Another one, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne. They're a tag team. What do they have in common?
Right.
They have not a lot of things. You got the Forgotten Sons in there. You got the Imperial. You got the Undisputed Era. You got that NXT UK tag team, Zach Gibson and someone, I can't remember the dude's name. I can never remember his name.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, they're in there, and like you get all these different people, and then you get that one standout, and they've done it. I think how long has the thing been around?
About 4 years now.
I can only remember 2 people who've won it, and I can tell you the 2 people who won it weren't even a tag team. Samoa Joe and Finn Balor won it, and Aleister and Ricochet won it.
Samoa Joe and Finn Balor won it. Aleister and Ricochet won it. DIY won it. And Undisputed Era
won it. DIY did win it, and Undisputed Era did win it. Oh, yeah, because that's when it was Strong and Pete Dunne, and then Strong turned on Dunne. Yep. Remember that one now.
I don't know. I believe that it's time for the Undisputed Era to get caught up.
Yes. I love them on NXT, but there's nothing for them to do.
They're so good, but after seeing all of those awards and all the championships around all of them, it's time.
They can do fine on the main roster. I guarantee you that's one team that cannot get destroyed. Mm-hmm. Adam Cole cannot get destroyed on the main roster.
He's just too good.
He's too good. You can't bury all of them. You can't. I can see them probably burying Strong. That's about it.
My biggest fear is them keeping the Undisputed Era in NXT past when they're supposed to.
Well, they've done it with Shayna. Look at Shayna.
Exactly. I was just going to get to that. They did it with Shayna, and then her reigns got boring. And her holding the women's championship for so long caused so many other women to lose opportunities they should have had.
Io Shirai,
Belair, Candice LeRae should have already held that championship.
Ripley's going to hold it for a while now.
I believe that championship should somewhere get in the middle between Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox.
Oh, yeah.
So if you look at it, the Undisputed Era has been doing the same thing for almost 2 years now.
Yeah, especially with the tag team.
Yeah, that's all they've done.
They've broke the record for having it the most. They probably broke the record of holding it the most.
Yeah, and it's them winning all of these championships and holding them for so long.
It's cool.
And making repetitive, yeah, it's cool. It makes them look even more prestigious. But
it's
Cassius Ohno's been in NXT since the beginning of it?
He's been in NXT
and he's held nothing.
And he's in NXT UK now.
Yeah.
He's basically that dude that, okay, you know he's losing basically.
Mm-hmm.
And the sad thing is, he was going to be in the Shield before Roman took over.
It's the thing of them holding the gold is taking away from stars.
It
which
really
is the same thing that the main roster does.
Yeah, I can agree with that, especially with Lesnar. But I don't really care that much. Like, it does get repetitive, but they have some good daggone matches.
Oh, they do. They definitely do. It's just
it's repetitive and it's boring. Like, yeah, I can like if Al if I almost said Alex, but I meant Adam. If Adam breaks Finn's record, I'm fine with that. But once when he breaks it, let him hold it for a little bit longer. But then he has to get yanked of it, and then he has to go to the main roster. Same thing with Fish. Same thing with O'Reilly. Same thing with Strong. And the sad thing is, they have done nothing with Strong. Like the last thing I remember him doing was a triple threat match for that North American Championship, and he snuckfully won it because they interfered. And I get it, it's a heel thing, but at some point it's like, okay, I'm getting kind of sick of this. Like, I like their heels, I get it, but like it was the same thing with Jinder when he won the title. Every time he won, this thing would interfere. I'm like, okay, this is getting repetitive, and he just went clean. And then when he did win clean, it was like, why did he beat Nakamura clean?
It was the same thing with Seth when he was a heel originally.
Yeah,
it was match. J&J security would interfere. You would never get to see his full potential that way. And with the Undisputed Era, they're such a dominant stable. And in my opinion, the Undisputed Era is the best stable of all time in WWE history. Over top of DX, over top of Evolution, and that's just what they've done in NXT. They have won so much and been so dominant in such a short amount of time, and they can just get better. Mm-hmm. But WWE and NXT are building them and building us to believe who's gonna beat them. Nobody, because they beat everybody. So, the only logical thing now to make sure they don't get to where nothing makes no sense and nobody looks weak because they lost again, or the Undisputed Era looks pointless because they just built all of this for nothing, would be to drop literally every single championship and it be vacant.
I can disagree with that. I can see them getting beat and it being fine. Like, if you really have a problem with all four of them losing clean to someone that they beat before and having a problem with them losing when they need to lose, then that's on you, in my opinion, because they built it up so good. And when someone does beat it, they're going to get a pop or a gigantic boo, depending on the situation and depending on the way of the crowd or where they're at. Because when Adam took on Johnny the first time and when Johnny won, you could hear a lot of boos for Johnny.
Yeah, because everybody wanted Adam to win.
Exactly.
But what I'm meaning is the guys that they continue to keep in this cycle is Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, and Balor now. There's really no one else other than Pete Dunne every so often.
Keith Lee's getting built up real good.
Yeah, Keith Lee for the North American Championship.
I can see him.
Keith Lee needs to be a world champion.
Keith Lee is great. Keith Lee is going to be the one that's going to dethrone Adam Cole. I've marked my words, and I'm going to call it now on this stream. I've said it, I think, in another stream. I'm going to call it now. They're going to build Adam Cole to this undestructible person, and Keith Lee and him are not going to meet. And then Keith Lee is going to get a match to determine for an N1 contendership. Adam Cole is going to screw him, and then he's going to go after Cole. And they're going to have a little bit of a rivalry, and then, Cole's going to get one, and Keith's going to get one, and they're going to have like a winner, basically a winner takes all type thing, and Keith Lee's going to dethrone him, and it's going to be the shock of the century because everyone's like, oh yeah, it's Keith Lee, he's good, but he's not that Cole good, and they're going to have a 6-star match. Mark my goddamn words.
I hope so. I really do. It's just what I'm meaning is if they were to try and introduce somebody new, and then that person that's new beats him. All of that momentum that the Undisputed Era built by defeating these guys and anybody who stepped up, hey.
I can agree, but at the same time, like, you're eventually gonna have someone has to beat them, and if it is someone that they've beaten before, it shouldn't matter in my opinion.
I don't know. It's just it's time for someone fresh in the NXT Championship picture, and I do believe that it's Keith Lee. But it's just it's a weird situation of what they might have to do is have Johnny win from him or Tommaso win from him. I could definitely see that, and then Tommaso losing it to someone, not Adam Cole losing to someone brand new, and then they go to the main roster. I also it's a very bold prediction, but I could see them breaking it up to the Undisputed Era on the main roster.
Didn't you call that in NXT too? Like they're eventually gonna break them up. They've teased it a lot. Before.
Yeah, they have. But what I could see them doing is sending Cole and Strong to Raw, and then Fish and O'Reilly to SmackDown to separate them. What time is it? I'm getting super tired.
7:20.
7:27.
We're probably gonna end the stream here. We've basically said what we've wanted to. We've talked about what we wanted to talk about.
And Colton doesn't want me to get super freaking slap happy on camera because it's
not. Thank you, Tyler, for joining me in this stream. I hope you had a good time. We said some things that were needed to have been said, in my opinion, about some certain things, and hopefully people are okay with it. Hopefully people can understand that, yes, we like what we like, and hopefully it can get better. But in my opinion, if it doesn't, mark my words, it's going to end bad. And there's so many people I want to see do good. Perfect example is Luchasaurus. I think he is a I think he can be fantastic. But it is what it is. If you got mad, it is what it is. You just need to maybe check yourself. Like we get mad, but we get all right with each other. But it is what it is.
Remember that opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one.
Pretty much.
Yours is just fine. If you believe that All Elite is the best thing of all time, cool. You better have some information to back it up, because no opinion counts unless there's facts. You can't sit and say that, oh, I think that orange juice is red, and then you look at orange juice and it's orange.
Pretty much.
That's not an opinion. That's just craziness. That's craziness because All Elite's craziness. It's a piece of crap, and they stole my name.
But I don't know, dude. I'm gonna probably do the after SmackDown.
I don't even know if I'm gonna be awake mid SmackDown. So
I'm gonna do it. So if he's out, that happens. But I'm gonna talk about SmackDown, what I thought about it. But I'll see y'all later. It was fun. Glad having him on the stream finally. Maybe it can be a 2-for-1er, but we don't know because he's tired.
Subscribe to All Star Extreme Wrestling.
Stop plugging yourself in. It is the most disgusting thing I've seen.
Have you looked in a mirror?
Yeah, I'm a very, very handsome man. It's okay.
Can't call yourself a man just yet.
I'm 20. I hate you.